techies, yuppies, liberals, socialists, communists in cities like San Francisco, Seattle, New York City, Manhattan. How are y'all doing today? You enjoying your 2-hour traffic jams? You enjoying trying to pay your $3,000 rent for your little 1-bedroom apartment? Are you enjoying open houses, going to open houses, realizing the open house is like $1 million and you and your wife are like hella priced out? You're like priced out forever. You enjoying your life. You enjoying working 70 hours a week for a big corporation, making the billionaires richer while you just slave away, and you never get ahead and you can't even buy a house because the prices are like $1 million. You enjoy your life. Just wanted to ask that real quick. You know, I just made a blog like about an hour ago. I've been hiking for like the last hour. I made a blog. It was down by this like little waterfall area. It's a small waterfall. It's only like 10 feet high, but it's kind of cool. And, you know, I was talking about how these university degrees are becoming effing worthless. You know what I'm saying? These university degrees, folks, they're becoming freaking effing worthless. You know, I was reading this article about the universities of, I think they're called Harvard, Yale, and Stanford, and I think that's what they're called. And they were saying in the article, it was saying these people are making like $100,000 a year with these university degrees, and I just busted up laughing. Man, I read this article on the internet, and I just started busting up laughing. It was the funniest thing I read all day. I couldn't stop laughing. These people, when they get those fancy degrees, man, folks, they wind up in like a place like Manhattan. They wind up in a place like San Francisco. They wind up in a place like Seattle. The cheapest, decent house in any of those places is like $1 million or $2 million in San Francisco. It's like $2 million in San Francisco. These people are never going to own a house. They got some fancy degree. They're going to make $150,000 a year. They ain't never going to own a house because the house is over $1 million. They're like priced out forever. They're priced out before they even begin. What a joke, man. What a freaking joke. It's like, why are people so dumb? Why are people so stupid? It just makes no sense. You know what I'm saying? But I will say one thing. If you do go to one of those fancy schools and then you like got a job offer like in a middle America city like Boise, Idaho, or, you know, Salt Lake City, although Salt Lake City's starting to get expensive, but maybe you could go to like Ogden or Provo, you know, then maybe the degree is okay. You know, if you could still get a house for $300,000, then yeah, maybe then the degree has value. You know what I'm saying? Maybe then the degree has value. But honestly, like, you're better off like just living in middle America, just making less money, make like $40,000, $50,000 a year in middle America, try to buy a house for like $150,000. You're better off, you know, trying to go to some Ivy League school so you can live in San Francisco. It's just a total con game. It's a total scam, because what's happened is these liberal leftist socialists have basically destroyed those cities. San Francisco, LA, you know, San Diego, Seattle, Portland, Oregon, New York, Boston, Washington, D.C., you know, those cities have just been wrecked by socialist policies. They've been wrecked by socialism. They've been wrecked by zone restrictions. They've been wrecked by massive out-of-control immigration. They've been wrecked by bringing tech jobs into the city center to make the house prices astronomical. Then they make the property taxes astronomical. You buy a tiny little house, you pay $10,000 property tax. In places like New Jersey and places like California, you pay like $10,000 property tax. And it's just a total socialist scam. And then these politicians and these government workers in those places, they make like $200,000 salaries with all the property tax money, and it's just a total con game. And then you're paying like $10,000 property tax. So what if you make $100,000 a year? All the money just goes for taxes, and astronomical housing costs. It's just a total con game, and it's a socialist that did it. It's a socialist leftist that did it with massive immigration, sanctuary cities, you know, massive H-1B visa techie immigration, you know, just putting tech jobs in the city center with tax cuts, tax incentives. I mean, you look at all these city mayors, all these leftist big city mayors, they were all like falling all over themselves saying, Amazon, come to our city, build your second headquarters in our city, we'll give you tax incentives, please come to our city, please come to our city. What a joke, man. The second Amazon goes in, the housing costs skyrocket. Well, of course, that's the whole socialist ideology. That's the whole Democrat Party ideology, and Rhino Republican too. They want the tech jobs in the city center because they want the house prices to skyrocket, because then the property taxes go to $10,000, and then they get rich, and then the politicians get rich, and then their salaries will go higher and higher. Maybe a politician's in like a middle class city and they make like 80 grand as the mayor. Why guarantee you after all those tech jobs go in, after they get the property taxes up to 10,000, all of a sudden you look at these California cities, you got the mayors making like 200,000 a year. You got city workers making 200,000 a year. Well, how is that possible? Well, it's possible because the property taxes are 10,000. It's a total con game. It's just a socialist system to bankrupt the middle class and to turn the middle class into total slaves. So these rich overlords, these billionaire CEO techies, they have all the money, and then these rich politicians will make like $200,000-300,000 salaries. They can retire at age 50, get a $200,000 pension, and then you, the middle class taxpayer, you're paying for all of it, and you're living in grinding poverty and traffic jams. You're working 70 hours a week, never getting ahead, just spinning in your hamster wheel faster and faster, never getting ahead. It's just a total con game, man. It's a total freaking con game.